If you feel puffy, bloated, tired, or inflamed, or like your body is constantly working against you, there's a good chance that inflammation is involved. And before you panic, it's okay. Inflammation is something you can calm naturally. And in fact, some of the best anti-inflammatory foods are simple, easy to prepare, and extremely nutritious. Today, I'm sharing 8 foods that can calm inflammation from within, support metabolism, and make you feel better within a matter of weeks. These are whole foods. They're not powders and supplements. And they work because they give your body the exact nutrients it needs to heal. Hi, I'm Kait, a nutritionist who helps people to balance their blood sugar and reverse insulin resistance naturally. Inflammation and insulin resistance, they go hand in hand. When inflammation is high, your cells don't respond to insulin as efficiently. And when insulin is high, inflammation raises even more. The great news is that the right foods can actually break this cycle. Not restrictive diets, not cleanses, not detoxes, just nutrient-dense foods your metabolism loves. So let's get into the 8 foods that will help to calm your inflammation, they're gonna help with your gut health, and bring your body back into a more balanced state. Bone broth is one of the most underrated anti-inflammatory foods because the benefits start in your gut, and your gut is where most of your immune system lives. When your gut lining becomes irritated or weakened, inflammation increases everywhere. Bone broth contains glycine, glutamine, and proline. These are amino acids your gut lining needs in order to repair itself. If you have bloating, gas, indigestion, or food sensitivities, that is often a sign that your gut barrier is irritated. When that happens, the immune system becomes more reactive and inflammation increases. What I love about bone broth is that it's incredibly gentle. It's easy to digest, low in calories, rich in protein, and packed with minerals. It's also one of the few foods people can tolerate, even when their digestion is flaring. And the anti-inflammatory effect isn't just through the gut. Glycine also helps calm the nervous system, support better sleep, and reduces systemic inflammation. If you feel stressed, wired but tired, or inflamed after eating, adding bone broth daily can make a noticeable difference. You can sip it like tea, you can use it in soups, you can cook your vegetables in it, or my personal favorite, adding it to slow-cooked meals. The key is consistency. 1 cup a day is a great place to start. Bone broth lays the foundation for reducing inflammation from the inside out. Wild-caught salmon is one of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s help to turn off inflammatory pathways and support hormone regulation, brain health, and insulin sensitivity. When inflammation is high, molecules like cytokines increase. EPA and DHA, which are the forms of omega-3 fatty acids that are found in wild-caught salmon, help reduce these inflammatory cytokines. And they also promote healing. And this is why people often notice improvements in joint pain, skin issues, brain fog, and energy when they increase their omega-3 intake. And it's important to note that the type of omega-3 that's in salmon is different than the type of omega-3 that's in chia seeds or hemp seeds. The form in these foods needs to be converted to EPA and DHA. And unfortunately, the body doesn't do this at a very high rate. So it's better to get them as EPA and DHA directly. Unfortunately, plant foods are not a good source of omega-3. Now, what also makes wild-caught salmon a standout anti-inflammatory food is the combination of omega-3s, high-quality protein, and micronutrients like selenium. This combination is excellent for the gut, for hormone balance, and for stable blood sugar. Try to eat wild-caught salmon once, or if you can, twice per week. You will notice a difference almost immediately in satiety, in your skin health, in your energy, and of course, a reduction in your inflammation. And for people with insulin resistance, they are even more beneficial. They directly support cell membrane function, and that helps your cells become more responsive to insulin again. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the healthiest fats you can eat if your goal is to reduce inflammation. The key compound in olive oil acts on the same anti-inflammatory pathways that ibuprofen does, but without the side effects. And olive oil is also rich in antioxidants that can help to protect your cells from oxidative stress. This matters because chronic inflammation is often caused by cell damage, poor recovery, and metabolic stress. Antioxidants help buffer this. And what a lot of people don't realize is healthy fats like this can help with inflammation because of their impact on blood sugar. When you pair protein and vegetables with healthy fats like olive oil, your meals digest more slowly, and your blood sugar rises more gradually. Fewer sharp spikes and crashes means less inflammatory stress on your system. Another benefit of olive oil is that it supports your gut health. Compounds in it feed beneficial gut bacteria, which helps reduce inflammation originating in the gut. Now, there are obviously so many ways to use olive oil. It's honestly best used at room temp or for low temperature cooking. You don't want to heat it too much or else it's going to oxidize. So drizzle it on your veggies, add it to a salad, drizzle it on your steak, or like I said, use it for low heat cooking. For example, if you're cooking eggs. And quality matters. Look for cold pressed, extra virgin olive oil in a dark bottle. It's one of the most well-researched anti-inflammatory foods in the world. It's a staple in anti-inflammatory diets for a reason, and it pairs perfectly with most of the foods on this list. Slow-cooked meats might be a surprising but extremely beneficial anti-inflammatory food, and the reason is simple. When meat is slow cooked, the collagen and connective tissues break down into gelatin. This makes the protein significantly easier to digest and much gentler on the gut. You get the same beneficial amino acids that bone broth provides, but in a more substantial, nutrient-dense meal. Slow-cooked meats support gut repair, help stabilize blood sugar, and provide steady energy without inflammatory spikes. And another reason slow-cooked meats work so well is because of the glycine content. Glycine helps balance out methionine, another amino acid found in muscle meat. When these two are balanced, the body experiences less inflammatory stress. Slow-cooked meats are also rich in minerals and B vitamins that support detox pathways, nervous system health, and inflammation reduction. If you want to reduce inflammation, start incorporating some slow-cooked beef, lamb, or chicken into your routine. These meals nourish the body deeply. They're incredibly satisfying, and they support gut health and reduce inflammation. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat, yet they're often unfairly labeled as unhealthy. The reality is the opposite. Eggs, and especially the yolks, are loaded with nutrients that directly support inflammation reduction. Egg yolks contain choline, vitamin A, vitamin E, and omega-3s if they're pasture-raised. These nutrients help support cellular repair, hormone production, and mitochondrial function. All three are essential for lowering inflammation. Choline is especially important here. It supports liver detoxification, brain health, and helps regulate methylation. When methylation is poor, inflammation often increases. Many people notice that they feel fuller and have more stable energy throughout the day when they include eggs at breakfast. And that matters because, like we said before, stable blood sugar means less inflammation. A protein and fat-rich breakfast helps to prevent mid-morning crashes. And also reactive stress responses. Eggs are also incredibly easy to digest for most people. Hard-boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, omelets, poached eggs, or even baked egg muffins are simple options that give your body steady energy. There's a reason that eggs have been eaten by almost every culture throughout history. They contain almost every nutrient our bodies need. And when paired with other foods on this list, like salmon or, spoiler alert, avocado, they become even more powerful. Speaking of avocado, it's one of the most anti-inflammatory plant foods that you can include every day, and it works through multiple pathways. First, avocado is rich in monounsaturated fats, like olive oil and olives. These fats help lower inflammatory markers, support cell membrane health, and stabilize blood sugar. The healthy fats in avocado help slow digestion, which means your meals release energy more steadily. This reduces inflammatory glucose spikes and keeps your insulin curve more predictable. Avocado also contains potassium, magnesium, and vitamin E. All of these play a role in inflammation reduction. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels and muscles. Potassium helps balance sodium and support hydration. And vitamin E works as a direct antioxidant that protects cell membranes. Another benefit is how satiating avocados are. Healthy fats help regulate hunger hormones. When your appetite is stable, your stress is lower, and your inflammation is reduced. You can place avocado on eggs, pair it with slow-cooked meat, mash it on some sourdough bread, add it to salads, or blend it into smoothies. It's one of the easiest, most versatile, and in my opinion, delicious anti-inflammatory foods. Blueberries are one of the highest antioxidant foods on earth, and their anti-inflammatory benefits are well studied. They can reduce oxidative stress, calm inflammation, and support cardiovascular health. They also reduce after-meal inflammation. When you combine blueberries with high-protein meals or healthy fat, they help blunt the inflammatory response that occurs after eating certain foods. They're also incredibly gentle on blood sugar compared to other fruits. This means they deliver anti-inflammatory benefits without causing large spikes. For people with insulin resistance or blood sugar issues, blueberries are one of the best fruits you can eat. Blueberries support brain health, reduce oxidative stress in the gut, improve recovery from exercise, and support the immune system. You can use them in yogurt bowls, protein smoothies, chia pudding, or simply eat them as a small handful after a meal. And finally, number 8, we saved arguably one of the best for last. It's fermented foods. Think Greek yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, and fermented vegetables. These are incredible for reducing inflammation because they support gut bacteria. And the gut is the command center for inflammation. When your gut microbiome is unbalanced, inflammation increases everywhere. But when you feed your gut beneficial bacteria, your immune system becomes calmer, digestion improves, and metabolic health follows. The probiotics in fermented food help repair the gut lining, reduce intestinal permeability, and help regulate immune responses. This leads to lower inflammation and improved digestion. Many people notice that when they eat more fermented foods, they have less bloating and less indigestion. Others notice an improvement to skin health, which is a direct reflection of gut inflammation. Okay, and now I have one bonus food for you. And this might not be for everyone, but the benefits are too strong to ignore. And that is sardines, one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. They contain even more omega-3 fatty acids than salmon. They also provide selenium, vitamin D, calcium, B vitamins, and high-quality protein. Sardines support inflammation reduction through multiple pathways. Their omega-3s reduce inflammatory signaling molecules, their high mineral content supports energy production and antioxidant defenses, and because they are a whole fish with the bones, they provide calcium and other nutrients that support structural repair and immune health. And they are great for people with insulin resistance and issues controlling blood sugar. You can eat sardines on a salad, mash with avocado, mix with lemon and herbs, or pair them with eggs. If you enjoy the taste, or if you at least tolerate it, they can be a nutrition powerhouse. Now, before we finish, I want to hear from you guys. What foods on this list do you already eat regularly? And is there one food that you feel you need to add into your routine? Let me know in the comments. Everyone's body responds differently, and it's interesting to hear which foods work best for you. Now that we've run through the 8 foods, I quickly wanted to also discuss how inflammation is linked to metabolic health. And a large part of this is that inflammation disrupts insulin signaling. When inflammation is high, your cells stop responding to insulin properly. This means your pancreas has to produce more insulin to get the same effect, and over time, this leads to insulin resistance. Inflammation also impacts your mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of your cells. When mitochondria are inflamed, energy production slows down. You feel tired, sluggish, and unmotivated. Inflammation also affects hunger hormones. Ghrelin, leptin, and GLP-1, they're all impacted. You feel hungrier, less satisfied, and more prone to cravings. And inflammation also affects the brain. Brain inflammation is linked to low motivation, brain fog, poor decision-making around food, and lower willpower. Most diets fail not due to a lack of discipline, but because the person's metabolism is inflamed and their hormones are confused. When you lower inflammation, weight loss becomes significantly easier. And this is why these foods matter. They calm inflammation at the root, which helps restore hormone balance and improve insulin sensitivity. Okay, we've covered a lot in this video, so let's quickly recap the 8 foods that can help you to reduce inflammation. Number 1 was bone broth. Number 2 was wild-caught salmon. Number 3, extra virgin olive oil. Number 4, slow-cooked meats. Number 5, eggs. Number 6, avocado. Number 7, blueberries. And finally, number 8 was fermented foods. And the bonus, don't forget sardines. These foods are not fads, they're not trends. They're foundational, they're nutrient dense. They're whole foods that have been eaten for generations. They support gut health, hormone balance, blood sugar, and immune function. And when inflammation comes down, everything gets easier. Now, if you want to know more about the inflammation and insulin resistance overlap, check out my video on how to reverse insulin resistance by 2026. And if you want to learn how to build meals that keep you full for hours and also reduce inflammation, check out my meal building video. Both of those will be linked on the screen now.